It is Christmas 2024. I have a cold, my nose is plugged up. And what does that mean? It means I have an extra special Star Trek fan fiction for you. If you're a fan, make sure you like it, subscribe to it, and listen to it. Ready? Here it goes. Captain's Log 2321. The Starship Enterprise is en route to deliver supplies to a science crew on asteroid 2320 Titus when Captain Kirk was summoned to the bridge with a yellow alert. The doors to the turbo lift opened, and Kirk ran onto the bridge, stopping by the engineer's station as he laid eyes on 3 alien visitors standing at the front by the viewing screen. "What the hell is going on?" Kirk asked, searching himself for a phaser. "Who are you, and what do you want?" Lieutenant Kyle ran up the steps and used a 2-handed swing to strike Kirk in the face and throw him back into Spock's arms. "Calm down, Captain," Kyle yelled. "You don't need to be shooting nobody." Spock, with a Van Dyke mustache and beard, spoke up. "Lieutenant Kyle, is this your error?" "What the F are you talking about, you Vulcan freak?" Kyle yelled back. "Hitting the captain is a capital offense, Lieutenant. I assume you hit him in error," Spock replied. "Your agonizer, Lieutenant Kyle," Spock said, holding out his hand. Kyle flipped off Spock and said, "Come and get it, you Vulcan freak. I dare you." Spock let go of Captain Kirk, who fell to the floor with a thud, and approached Kyle, who was crouched down, ready to fight for his life. "Back off, Spock," Kyle said. "Your Vulcan neck pinch won't do you any good with me. I already know what to look for." "Uhura, call Chief of Security Dickerson to the bridge," Spock said. "Belay that order," Kirk yelled as he climbed the rail back to his feet. "Scott, grab that son of a bitch and hold him." "He might have a phaser, Captain," Scott replied, like a chicken. "Does he or doesn't he?" Kirk asked. "I said grab him." "No, Captain. I am the Chief of Engineering, not Security. You don't pay me enough to risk my neck." "Should I again call Security?" Spock asked the Captain. "I can't believe we can't handle something as simple as Kyle by ourselves," Kirk replied. "What are you, a bunch of sissies?" Again, Spock told Uhura to call Dickerson. "I said belay that order," Kirk yelled. "We have visitors, and I won't allow my bridge crew to make me look incompetent." "Yes, sir," Uhura replied, and released the page button. "Now, who are you, and how the hell did you get on my bridge? This is the 3rd time this month aliens got on my bridge and passed our shields. What kind of ship is this Enterprise anyway?" "Don't make fun of my ship," Scott yelled. "You reckless pile of shit." "Me? Reckless?" Kirk replied. "You can't keep these blobs of jello off my ship. Are you incompetent, or is this ship a toy?" "I've had it with your insults," Scott yelled as he stepped away from his post. "Get back to your station, you inbred Scottish bulldog," Kirk snapped. "Can I speak now?" the alien replied, waiting patiently. "Oh yeah. Who are you? How did you get on my ship? And what do you want?" Kirk asked. "I apologize for not asking permission to board your ship, but we have no way to communicate electronically with you," the alien replied. "I assure you our presence here is of great importance." "Fantastic. Now answer my question or get off my ship." "We came to ask you to leave before we blow your ship into tiny bits," the alien replied. "That's all?" Kirk asked. "What gives you the right to tell a USS Starship what to do? We could blow you into bits 10 times over." "Our rights are self-evident, Captain," the alien replied. "You are in our solar system, without permission, I might add." "This solar system is not inhabited," Kirk replied. "I do not recognize your authority over me." "Well, that's too bad," the alien replied. "You have 15 Earth minutes to leave, or we will blow you to pieces." Kirk grinned at the alien and put his hands on his hips. "I don't think so. You may have found a way to subvert our shields and gain access to my bridge, but no energy beam will." "We don't need an energy beam," the alien replied. "My 2 companions here are both bombs set to explode on my command." "You're shitting me," Kirk said with a smirk. "Spock, scan these 2 assholes and tell me what you find." Spock walked over to his blue light scanner and scanned all 3 aliens. "My scanner can't make a definite determination. He may be speaking the truth, but I cannot confirm." "What the F use are you, Spock, Kirk asked. You can't tell me if I'm looking at 2 bombs ready to blow up the ship or 2 canisters of grape jelly? Correct, Spock replied. Scott spoke up. I take them at their word, Captain. Bombs can be made from materials we have yet to discover. Or they could be bluffing, Kirk replied. Uhura, you're a woman. What do you think? What does being a woman have to do with anything? Spock asked. They have intuition. Or, at least, that's what my mom used to say, Kirk replied. Uhura spoke up and replied, I'd side with Mr. Scott, Uhura said. How confident are you? Kirk asked. About 30%, Uhura replied. Okay, fine, Kirk said. Scott, can you place a force field around the aliens that would contain any explosion? Do you mean a containment field? Scott asked. I don't care what you call it. Can you create it? Kirk asked, annoyed. Why don't you just transport them into deep space? Like you did that with that robot that tried to exterminate all of us. Can you do that from the bridge? Kirk asked. Don't they need to be on your transporter pad? I mean, what's the point of having a transporter room if you can do it from anywhere? The transporter pad is the best option, but we can transport from almost anywhere in an emergency, Scott replied. Scott poked around on his console and looked back at Kirk. Sorry, Captain. I can't transport them anywhere. They have created their own field that's interfering with my signal. I can't transport them or contain them. Shit, Kirk said. Now what? We could do as they ask and leave their solar system, Spock replied, raising an eyebrow. I'm not in the business of letting every alien I come across dictate orders to me, science officer, Kirk replied. The captain must be pissed, Sulu said to Kyle, who was back at his post at the helm seat. He called Spock the science officer. Just then, a light began to blink on Sulu's console. Captain, I have a contact with an alien ship 6,000 kilometers off our port side. No identification as of yet. Is that your ship? Kirk asked the lead alien. No, Captain. You are incapable of detecting our ship with your ancient technology. We've been parked off your bow for days, and you had no idea we were even there, the alien replied. I have identified the ship, Sulu said. It's a Klingon bird of prey, and they are closing in on our position quickly. Hear that? Kirk said to the alien. Now you have 2 of us, and the Klingons won't relinquish you either. The alien was silent for a minute, as it seems to converse with his other 2 still standing at the front of the bridge. We will give them the same option, Captain. No outside being has ever stayed in our solar system for longer than 15 Earth minutes, and we don't plan on changing that today. We are being hailed, Sulu said. On the screen, Kirk said, leaning back in his captain's chair. You have 9 minutes left, Captain, the alien said. On the main view screen, a Klingon captain appeared, dark, menacing, and ugly. Captain of the USS Enterprise, I am commander of the Klingon bird of prey Xanaplax, and we have come to inquire as to why you seem to be stranded in this location. Are you offering assistance? Kirk asked. No, was the reply. What is your name? You look familiar, Kirk asked. Kolog is my name. Captain is rank, Kolog replied. We are not stranded, Kirk said. We are completing a survey, and we will be on our way soon, Kirk replied with a lie. On the screen, Kirk saw a Klingon crew member speak into Kolog's ear and step away. Kolog turned to the captain and said, Do you realize there is a cloaked ship parked off your bow? Pissed that the Federation technology was unable to detect the ship, Kirk replied, Of course we knew. What do you think we were surveying? I guess that makes sense, Kolog replied. Now that I have told you what you want to know, be on your way, Kirk said in a dismissive tone. Before we go, we have been authorized by Klingon High Command to take you prisoner and escort you back to Kronos, where you and all will be placed into a penal colony and work as slaves until you die, Kolog said. No thanks, Kirk said. We have a mission to complete. Engineer, Warp 6 to planet Envoy. You now have 4 minutes, the alien said. Who is that? Kolog asked. He couldn't see the aliens on his view screen. Captain, Scott said excited, I found a way around the alien force field. I think I can transport them now. Can you transport them onto the Klingon ship? Kirk asked. They are going way too fast. You'll get a lock on the deck, Scott replied. The best I can do is transport them into deep space. Can you lock onto Kolog and get his coordinates? Kirk asked. Spock spoke up. Captain, we have less than 2 minutes. I would suggest you transport them a safe distance from the Enterprise and address the Klingons once we are safe. I have a lock on the Klingon captain, Scott said. It's not great and is bouncing around a bit, but I think I can make the transport once we get a little closer. How much closer? Kirk asked. We don't have much time. About 30 seconds, Scott replied. We only have 30 seconds, Spock said. It will be close, but we'll have to make the best of both situations, Kirk said. Transport the aliens as soon as you can. Curious, Kolog asked, What are you doing, Captain? Wait for it, Kirk said. You will find out soon enough. Check out my playlist right there. Check that playlist out. If you made it this far, you need to watch all of these. I have over 50 of them. Like, subscribe, watch, tell your friends, post, repost, and be in my fan club.